Pour the brothers bond.
Being around you drives me nuts.
Is the pug snoring?
And not being around you drives me nuts.
Grab your wine glass and sit with your sweetie. Time to listen to Ash and the titular PD. Drunk like I got a traveler in me. Need to feed on blood like I'm addicted to type B. It's not a typo, I'm type A on the flow. Ties a hype beast, put a chain on the dough. Roll up the vervain, roll Spain in the cup. Turn my humanity off, not giving up. Heck. Other side sucking people up like twisters. Bonnie's the anchor. Jeremy's gonna miss her. The bro swap places Rick's back in the mix. What's gonna happen on Vampire Diaries season 6?
How is the summer almost over? And yet, I feel like I got nothing done.
Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast, where a guy is watching the series for the first time with a superfan who has seen every episode. I'm the titular PD, let's just say I put the PD in Vampire, but please call me Pete, and I'm here with my co-host and co-parent, Ash. Hello, Ash.
Did you forget my name?
Yep, who are you? Where am I? What is this?
Hello, Pete.
Ash, I worked on a television show.
Many of those.
It just came out in the past couple weeks. We've been watching it. Mm-hmm. I started listening to a podcast where some people were talking about it.
You did?
It's trippy, and now I'm like, well, that's what we do.
That is weird.
We watch a show and then talk about it, and these people were talking about the show that I worked on.
That's so funny.
And we're pretty positive about the show mostly.
Yeah.
These people were mostly negative, I think, but
I find that to be very often true about Rewatch or like recap podcasts, that they mostly just fry it the whole time. It's like, but if you're a fan of the show, like, you should be liking at least most of it.
yeah, I think this podcast's whole thing, well, I've only listened to the one episode, and I've only listened to part of it. I wonder if there are shows that they love, and the whole time they're talking about it. My guess is no. Mm-mm. And I'm not going to, because I'm being critical, I'm not going to name drop this podcast, but I am going to listen to more of it, and I'm going to listen to an episode where they talk about another show I've worked on, The Circle, and see.
You've got to send it to me, though. I want to hear it.
Okay. See if they like that one. But it is, it's easy to critique something and not know all the work that went into it, which is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I realize the meta-ness of all that I'm saying.
Right.
But also the way they're reacting is, for the most part, like, yes, that is why we included that material.
Oh, uh-huh.
Like, we put that person saying that there.
For this
one, they really said it in real life, but we chose to include it in the television program in order to elicit the very reaction that you are having.
Right, exactly.
So it is successful in that way. But I don't know. I just wanted to peel back the curtain a little bit. I'm on both sides of the curtain. I'm here critiquing a fictional narrative TV show, but I also work on unscripted shows.
Yeah, that's fun. And like different way to think about it. We also have like an additional experience of when you watch the show back with me for the first time, and then I'm always asking questions, and I feel like we have an unrecorded podcast.
Yeah.
Basically every time we watch, but
I can't.
that'd be a little bit too mixing of work and pleasure if we did a podcast of the show you worked on.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that. I sign stuff.
But it does feel like we're having our own little podcast when it's just me and you. We're watching your show and just talking about everything and reaction. We definitely make an hour episode take like 2 hours.
Yeah,
We just pause and talk about it.
I told my coworkers that today, actually. I was like, it takes us twice the time. Before podcasts were invented, what you just described used to be called a conversation.
I know.
So we have those.
We have those.
Sometimes.
Regularly.
We also have a podcast. Ash, speaking of podcasts, podcasts have sponsors, right?
Oh, yes. I forget this every single time.
You may have heard on the news, and who can believe what you're seeing there lately about our sponsor. They've been drumming up some headlines lately.
They've been on the news.
The Vernacular language learning app. Been some headlines, some pieces on the nightly news. Mm-hmm. Our rep Vlad, who you remember I was talking to last week.
Vlad.
Vlad wanted to get ahead of the rumors.
Okay.
Vernacular does not make you sensitive to sunlight, nor does it, quote, steal hours of your life, like some bogus news outlets have claimed. Sure, the user experience is so delightful that you just want to be there, but it doesn't steal hours from your life.
Okay, that's good.
Vernacular is so sure that you'll be totally 100% satisfied with their service that they're offering an extended free trial to new blood. In fact, they want to meet anyone that is unsure of their product. Invite them into your home for a customer satisfaction review. Log on to the app and use the promo code Petey for more details.
All right. Check it out.
But, yeah, if you see the tweets about Vernacular, report them. Report the liars.
Report the lies.
Ash, tonight we'll be talking about Season 6, Episode 6. Mm-hmm. The More You Ignore Me, the Closer I Get, which we looked up Morrissey.
Right. Did you happen to look up if this was 1994 as well?
Ooh, I did not. I would guess it would be earlier than that.
Yeah, probably.
They might be out of the 1994 scheme by now, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. Ash.
What's up?
Another one of our patented segments, the cold open.
Verge.
Trip is driving. What wasn't it?
Trip,
Trip,
my favorite character.
Isn't his name Trip Falls?
Yeah.
That's great. It's like in the OC.
No, Trip fell.
Oh, that's still funny. That's even better. Almost.
Right? Yeah, Trip fell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not falls.
Because Meredith fell.
Yeah.
And they're related, I guess, in some way.
Yeah, the fell fam.
Like when the Dean Hess, Hugh Hess, or Hugh Hess, or Hess Hole, or whatever his name was.
That was in the OC?
On the OC, yeah, Dean Hess.
Hugh.
Jack Hess.
Jack Hess.
Yeah.
I was thinking Huge Hess. Yeah, Jack Hess.
That's good.
That's good.
All right, Trip is driving with Ivy she's in the back of the patented truck or van. Mm-hmm. He says, "You don't want this life." I said, that's kind of like the opposite of Varsity Blues.
Yeah, you don't want my life.
There are some other vampires back there, too. Trip is playing some really bad music.
Yeah.
That's part of the punishment, I think.
Trip is just a bad guy all around. Bad music, bad vehicle.
Mm-hmm. They cross into Mystic Falls, and then the vampires turn to not vampires, but then they die the way that they had died, which I was like, what's happening? And you said that.
Right. This one had a slit throat, one got shot and snapped her neck.
Ivy had her neck snapped by Enzo.
Mm-hmm. But they die really quickly. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, this is a way spoiler to the end of this episode, but the other vamps, I guess I won't say specifically who until we get there, but the other vamps that cross over Mystic Falls do not die as quickly.
Do you think that people listen to, like, they listen to up to a part in our episode, and then they watch a little bit of the show, and then they listen more?
I don't think so.
So I don't think there's spoilers.
I know, but, like, I just don't like to always jump too far ahead of the conversation.
Right.
But I will just say now, though, because it's not necessarily explained why they don't die as quickly, but is it because Trip was driving really fast through into Mystic Falls, so we got, like, way further in faster? Or were those vamps newer, so they died faster, where these older vamps, like,
I think
whatever,
it was serving the plot.
I know, but, like, when you try to think about making some meaning out of it,
yeah.
I think that makes it interesting.
The things you said could help. Mm-hmm. Damon and Stefan are hugging in that mausoleum.
Yeah, because Damon just came back.
They missed each other. Stefan thought Damon was gone. Mm-hmm. Elena is talking to Caroline. News has traveled fast. Damon is back.
Right.
And then they're intercutting around these conversations. Damon telling Stefan Bonnie sacrificed herself so that Damon could come back. They were in Mystic Falls, 1994, the year Kurt Cobain killed himself. Okay, the witches created that purgatory place.
Right. You knew that.
For Kai. But then Grams kind of shooed them in there, right? Damon tells Stefan how he got back. And he tells him the real way, right? Because then he lies to Elena later.
Right. He lies to everyone else except to Stefan.
All right. Damon needs to see Elena.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only thing, like, keeping him sane-ish in 1994.
Still intercut, Alaric wants to compel Elena to remember her love for Damon. Then Damon is like, what's going on here?
Right.
And he's learning about it. But he thinks when she sees him, she'll just remember. And Elena thinks Damon is a killer, Stefan's brother.
Right. That's
And
where she's
then
been compelled to only remember that part.
Elena says, don't lift the compulsion, Alaric. Not until you ask me to, he says, and I hope you ask me. Who knew it could be too late?
Right.
And then I think someone tells someone to avoid Joe. Alaric says to avoid Joe.
To Elena.
To Elena. She can't be compelled. Maybe Vervain or another reason. And I said, I bet it's another reason.
Did you have an idea what the reason was?
No. Some kind of magic. Some kind of magic BS. Try to find out why. Okay, Elena says to call Jeremy. She had to tell him about Bonnie over the phone, and that was no good.
So she knows that Jeremy's freaking out, which he is.
Yeah, Jeremy is at the Bros Mansion. Sarah is there. I think her name is Sarah. Sarah Salvatore.
Probably.
Her dad was Zach Salvatore. Jeremy is bummed about Bonnie.
Yeah, super bummed.
And Sarah's like, is it another girl? And yeah, it's another girl.
Right. But Jeremy just can't handle Sarah. She's like, wants to talk to him about her family and stuff. And he's just like, I can't deal. I can't. And he just leaves.
Yeah, he didn't even take the time to wash his hair.
No.
Enzo is chained up in like a trip shed. You only want me for my trip shed?
No.
Matt comes in, gives him a little blood, but spills some of it. Matt is Trip's errand boy.
Yeah, which Matt is like the man on the inside. Well, like at first he was helping Trip like for real, but he didn't know that he was killing vamps, and now Matt is like weirdly tied up with Trip, but then helps his vamp friends when he needs or when he can or wants to.
Yeah.
He's kind of playing both sides a little bit.
He's playing both sides. He just wanted to be in a running club.
Right.
And then he got caught. It's kind of like...
And helping, like, protecting the town.
Yeah, it's kind of, not to get too specific, but it's like you see online a bunch of people who are in certain wellness type stuff, and then they start somehow believing some other stuff.
Yeah. A slippery slope.
Yeah, it's like Matt's trying to do the running club, and then all of a sudden he's killing vampires. He's like, wait, I just like the part about running around and clean up the trash. And I'm sure some people are like, wait, I just like hot yoga. I don't like this other stuff.
Right, yeah, true.
And then they do like the other stuff.
It becomes like a whole culture.
Yeah. You don't have to make running into killing.
Vamps. Yeah.
I was at the treadmill. I was at the gym on the treadmill the other day. I killed no vampires.
Yet.
I was just jogging.
Yet.
All right.
Wait till you get caught up.
Enzo is trying to shade Stefan's game, so Matt lets him out, like trying to be like, oh, how do you know what Stefan's going to do?
Right. He's like, why is Stefan's word like law or whatever?
Enzo then threatens to tell Trip about Matt's friends, which would be Stefan also. So that's kind of...
Yeah. Well, Enzo just doesn't have any loyalty to anyone except Damon, really.
Mm-hmm.
And Damon's gone, so he's just like, I'm gonna be out of here.
Trip comes in. Enzo had previously sent him to find Stefan in Savannah, which I think that he was trying to give him a real tip. But Stefan got out of there.
And the girl.
Ivy?
Sarah.
Oh, Sarah?
Oh, no, Ivy. Yeah, Ivy. JK.
It was a waste of gas, and there were only blood bags there, but Trip found Ivy near Whitmore. Mm-hmm. And then he threatens him again, let me know where your vampire friends are at, or Enzo's going sightseeing in Mystic Falls.
Right, which we know that means...
Which is a euphemism.
You gon' die.
For a quick van ride across the border.
You gon' die.
Yeah, both of those things.
You say it now.
You gon' die. Was that a me impression? You gon' die.
I don't know. I just wanted you to say it.
Matt tells Caroline and Alaric that Enzo is chained up with Trip. Ivy was driven across the border. Oh, I said like Philly's Most Wanted. They had a song. When you go across the border, mama, I'll go across the border, papa. Bring me back, what you need. Was that? I wonder if that was a very local song.
I don't know. I don't recognize it from you singing it right now.
It was two rappers, I think, and they both kind of sounded like Mace or maybe more Fabulous. But anyway, that was definitely in my lane. Maybe it wasn't even that popular to go as far down south to Southern Maryland.
Right.
Like
it didn't travel an hour.
No, like we were slightly closer to Philly where I was growing up.
Very slightly.
Yeah. If you've heard of Philly's Most Wanted in probably the late 90s, let me know.
That's the song or the...
That's the band. That's
okay.
the group of rappers. The pair, I believe.
Okay.
Were they brothers? I'm not sure.
We're not going to look it up right now.
I just looked it up. Just kidding. It's like I didn't. It's like I did.
Say it up.
He's funny.
You know that we were listening to a different podcast, the Lonely Island podcast.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking about Kristen Wiig's character. I forget her name, but it was I'm doing this psych, no psych, and her whole thing was saying psych about this, psych about that, psych about that.
Just kidding, I did this. Oh, just kidding, I didn't do this. Oh, just kidding,
I
was
it's
the
just
king
kidding,
of that. Just kidding,
not psych.
Just kidding, I wasn't paid to be here. Just kidding, I
kidding,
paid to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a good character. You saying psych don't made me think of that.
Well, me and Wig
kidding.
both very good at our characters.
Yeah, agree.
And both equally successful at doing characters on a major stage.
Man, Kristen Wiig, one of the best.
Yep. Where's she been at?
I'm doing
She's
all
on,
types of.
Is that show called Palm Springs or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. That's a movie.
No, it's Palm Royale.
So she's doing that.
Yeah, she's probably producing and stuff.
He's funny about he was confused about which vampires were good. What? Matt says that? Oh, Matt was funny.
Yeah, he was making a joke. Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure
Which vampires are good.
we like or we don't like, that kind of thing.
Yeah, Matt.
Matt's always got the little stank eye going for this town and these peeps.
Could anyone have made more of a reversal in my eyes than Matt?
No.
I wonder if I watched back the first couple episodes if I would still remember my hatred.
I think if you never saw his shoes in the bed, you would have liked him from the beginning.
Maybe so.
That was just too visceral for you.
Unforgivable. All right, let's
see. Her name's Penelope.
Penelope, the Kristen Wiig character. Mm-hmm. All right, so Stefan is going to help bust out Enzo.
Yeah, they're like, you got him, and this is when Caroline is like, you got Enzo captured, and because you didn't want him to know about where you were, and now you're going to free him so he doesn't find out where you are. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, Elena's at the dorm at Whitmore College.
Mm-hmm. You finally knew it was the dorm?
I could tell now, yeah.
Good for you.
It wasn't one of those weird hallways. But now they are trying to trick me with this hospital.
Right.
And now there are two different hospitals.
Different hospitals.
Because
different colored sheets.
Joe came in and was like, this hospital sucks. And I was like, man, you're talking about your job like that? And then she was like, we got to get you to Whitmore Hospital. And I was like,
Yeah, they were at Mystic Falls Hospital.
I was like, man, I was seeing these scenes at Mystic Falls Hospital, like in these previous episodes, not knowing that it sucks so bad. I was like, this is a passable hospital to me.
No.
Now I got to rewatch that stuff and know that it sucks.
Yeah, the small town hospital sucks, but the college one
It's better.
is better.
How do I know that Mystic Falls is even a small town, and how do I know that Whitmore?
You don't know that Mystic Falls is Mystic Falls is a small town. They have just the grill.
I guess so. Yeah, I never seen them like drive to the mall or anything.
No.
It would be. They should do a mall episode like the OC.
Yeah, the mall, or like Saved by the Bell was the original mall episode.
Well, Dawn of the Dead also went to the mall.
Also, probably so did like 90210 and all those other shows.
Also, Chopping Mall was at a mall.
Okay.
Also, Mitchell's versus the Machines.
And Stranger Things.
It's definitely Stranger Things. Stranger Things is new though.
I know.
It just looks old. You know, Ash.
Oh, really?
There's this thing. Like, if you saw those kids walking around, I mean, they are old now.
Right.
But if you saw them like 5 years ago, they would have looked like that.
Is that how TV works?
Like, Steve isn't 60, he's like 40.
60.
Yeah, because if it was shot in
I
the
know,
80s and
yeah.
he was a teen, he is like 40, though. All right. Elena is at the dorm. I could recognize it.
Good.
Couldn't recognize the hospital, though. And if you make me choose which hospital someone's at in one of the scenes, I won't know. I need Joe to tell me if it sucks or not.
Okay.
All right, Damon is knocking. He wants to talk. They talk through the door. Someone had a song, Kiss Me Through the Phone or something?
Yeah.
Was it Neo?
Yeah, it was like, like it was kind of like poppy a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It was saucy.
Yeah.
Kiss me through the phone. They're talking through the door, though, so it's kind of different.
There's so much door footage in this episode.
Yes. I think I say that later,
And
but
fondling of doorknobs and
I know.
stuff.
I was surprised about how many knob shots there were.
So many knobs.
Like, they need to blur a couple of those knobs.
You should have seen the look on Pete's eyes when he said knob shots just right now. He looked like he was a little kid being like, oh, I said that.
Hey, you don't have to put a E on the podcast for saying knob shots. I checked.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, what you felt for me is real. The most real thing in your life, Damon is telling her. And Elaine's like, those feelings were gone. And Damon's like, compelling is a way of covering the truth. Mm-hmm. Damon hears her breathing and waited so long to hear her breathing. Okay, now is he Aerosmith? Before he was Kiss Me Through the Phone, now he's Aerosmith.
And just close my eyes.
And he's talking to his daughter
Yeah.
in the music video. Okay, if anyone's tracking any of these things that I'm talking about,
Congratulations.
don't sound off in the comments. All right. Armageddon. Okay, they touch hands through the door, like they're each touching a different part of the door. They open the door, but don't go through. Mm-hmm. It can go back to the way it was. Oh, open the door, I'm going to kick the door in. He's saying she opens the door, but then she goes out the window.
Yeah, she whooshes.
Yeah.
Later, she tells that to Stefan. He's like, you jumped out the window, someone could have seen you. She panicked.
Okay, yeah, 'cause Elena... Stop moving this table. Elena is... I was going to whisper, then I was like, I'm just going to tell you.
I didn't know I was moving it.
Yep. Elena is talking on the phone to Stefan, like you just said. All right, she's now in her polo at the hospital. She doesn't want to have feelings for Damon again. She has started over. Oh, by the way, she kissed Liam last night,
Right.
a.k.a. cute brag.
Just because he was being nice, but she was eventually like, this hero type is my type. Remember that?
Yeah.
But I don't think she likes him, you know?
No.
you know, she was just like, oh, he's being nice.
Yeah, and they had like some emotional moments at the corn maze.
Yeah.
Corn maze. Talk about 2 words in a row that mean the same thing. I couldn't think of a better way to say that, but okay. Don't tell Damon that she kissed Liam. Mm-hmm. Damon would be like, who? Oh, cute brag? Okay. All right. She'll kill him just like he killed my brother. Which I was like, okay, yeah, but your brother is also alive.
Right. Yeah, stop saying that.
Okay, she sees Joe.
Yeah.
She checks Joe's coffee cup, and I said, there's no vein in there.
No.
Joe comes out and drinks the coffee. Come with me.
Yeah, when you see that there's no vervain in the cup, which shout out to your theme song, Vervain in the Cup.
Uh-huh.
Are you like, oh, she must be drinking vervain in another drink than her coffee? Or do you automatically in your brain eliminate the fact that she doesn't drink vervain?
Well, I had already said I think it's another reason. I know,
but when you first saw it's not in the coffee, where you're like, well, it's not in any drink. She doesn't drink it. Or you're just like, and she just doesn't put in her coffee. Maybe she drinks it.
I knew that Elena had to eliminate different things because there was another reason. So I was like, okay, for Elena, she just eliminated this reason. Mm-hmm. I know she has to do that for scripting purposes. Mm-hmm. So let's see what this reason is.
Okay.
Let's hear this reason.
Okay.
And then she was like, oh, what's this bracelet? Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it was that either.
Okay.
I was like, there's a magical reason.
You just knew.
Yeah.
All right.
Because he said, because if he was like, we have to figure out the vervain delivery system, then I would have been like, oh, is it going to be in the coffee? Not in the coffee. Oh, is it going to be that bracelet? Not the bracelet. What's she doing?
Yeah.
Maybe it's contacts. Maybe she's wearing vervain contacts. But I was like, I wasn't thinking that.
Right.
I just made that up right now, which is a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Make him close his eyes.
Take his contacts out.
They're looking for it. Oh, I dropped it. They're looking for it on the ground.
Yeah.
That's a good scene. And then, like, puts it in right at the last minute before what happens. Because they get compelled through the eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that's why you were saying that.
That's good. Puts it in real quick. You are doing this. And then they're like, no, I'm not. Stabs them. I don't know who's doing that stuff in the scenario.
Right.
But that's just like a rough outline.
Okay.
We'll fill in the things later. Specifics. I just filled in the specific of my sentence.
Yeah, you couldn't think of specifics.
And then like they'd be walking later, or they'd be at the grill later and be like, man, that was close. Yeah, I still got dirt in my eye. But I wasn't compelled and I stabbed the guy.
Success. That's very silly.
And scene. Okay.
What happened in the real show?
Matt, is searching on a computer. This makes even less sense than anything.
I agree. And we're not here to talk bad about the whole episode, but
No.
this is a very... Sometimes they start scenes where you're confused, and then they explain it 1 second later, which they do. But sometimes you're just like, where are we and what is happening?
I would say that I'm still confused, but maybe you're not confused. We did learn that Matt is in Tripp's office on his computer, but why did he type vampires into the search bar and there were no results?
He's trying to see what Tripp knows about stuff, and if he has information about which vampires he's gonna get. And
so he was on a private server, perhaps.
Yeah, he was just looking in Tripp's own computer to see.
I guess it wasn't my computer, because when you search even on my server for vampires, all types of stuff pops up. Not Mystic Falls deaths, though.
No.
Which is the other thing he searched for. But wouldn't Tripp have that in his computer? And wouldn't he have vampires? I don't...
Unless he doesn't keep his information in a computer.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he has a bunch of files, so he doesn't, obviously, based on the search bar. But it's just,
Yeah.
what search bar? Where is he searching? Like,
Yeah.
maybe he's searching on the wrong thing. Like, he should have searched somewhere else.
Right. Yeah, I agree. They didn't know how to do internet stuff back then.
I guess not. It's like
Computer stuff.
there's the Kelly Rowland and Nelly music video where she's got a
They're supposed to be texting.
sidekick
Yeah,
phone that she's texting with, but it's just an Excel document.
Yeah, it's an Excel document.
So
It's like, no wonder he's
Nelly's not going to
answering
get that. Yeah.
Unless you share it with him.
I mean, if anyone would get it, it would be Nelly. Be like, yeah, I figured it out. I got your.
You downloaded it and you emailed it as an attachment or something.
Nelly had early on had Dropbox. He was one of the first people with Dropbox.
I have to put my legs on this side of the table now.
Okay. And he forgot his password all the time. He kept it on his Band-Aid on his face. That's why he had it.
This underneath.
Yeah, so he could like look at it and be like, "Oh, that's my Dropbox password."
But he had to write it backwards so he could read it when he's looking in the mirror.
Yes, and the password was. Did he do something dirty or something like DURTY? I don't know. Anyway, what did he? He didn't have a backwards R. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't remember that.
Remember Nelly?
Yeah.
We are
We're going down, baby.
we are one degree of separation from Nelly.
We are?
Because I'm friends with someone who is friends with Nelly.
That's cool.
We should get him on the pod. Nelly, do you watch?
What did you have under your Band-Aid? It was so insulting.
I would hate if he heard this. In fact,
That's what you said.
No one tell Nelly that I said that.
No, don't tell him. We love him.
I honestly...
I think we've still... I mean, who knows what's happening in the world today, but... I was a fan.
I really enjoyed... I got his album, Country Grammar, back in the day.
Country Grammar was so good.
Yeah. He was good at doing that. All right.
This is a very tangent-filled episode.
Yeah, but that's what we're doing. All right, let's see. Where are we at?
I don't know.
Sarah,
Matt was at the computer looking
Sarah
at
comes
stuff.
into Tripp's office. She needs info on the Salvatores.
Yeah. No one is listening to Sarah today.
No, they're ignoring her. Both her mom and her dad died from animal attacks, but that's code. Mm-hmm. Tripp knows all about homicidal wildlife. Mm-hmm. And Sarah's like, help me or I'll tell your boss you were snooping. And when it comes to the animal attack file, Matt's like, oh, it's right over there. Mm-hmm. So he knows how to find that, but not the thing in the computer.
Yeah, I think the animal attack file could be like not as like open about what it really was.
Yeah,
He's
true.
like, yeah, those are just over there.
Yeah, just the real clippings from the Mystic Falls Gazette. The Chronicle? I don't know. Alaric is happy. If you see an article, by the way, in the Chronicle or Chronicle? If you see a
Article in the Chronicle?
see an article in the Chronicle or the Gazette about vernacular, ignore it.
It's
Listen
lies.
to Vlad.
Okay.
Alaric is happy to see Damon. Alaric's office is just probably Professor Shane's old office. They are drinking Brothers Bond and doing exposition. One of my favorite things.
It's true. It's nice to see them together again, though.
Yeah, the bros.
Because they only got to have like a split second of crossover when Rick came back to life and Damon went to the other side.
True. Damon is like kind of mad, but kind of just giving him a hard time that Alaric compelled Elena to not love him.
Right.
She loved you too much, it was killing her. And Damon's like, but I'm back. Get that uncompulsion on the books, but Elena doesn't want it. Damon is mad. She won't even see him. She's happy. Alaric won't take her happiness away. And
Pug snores.
the pug is snoring in the background. And I said, there's lots of office scenes in this episode. What is this? The Office?
In this episode, they tell Damon a lot that, like, Elena was, was killing her, how much she missed you, blah, blah, blah. As much as the, like, recapping that they do in the show, I wish that someone had specifically told Damon she was doing drugs so she could,
Oh, yeah.
like, envision you, and then she thought you were really there. Like, I wish that someone had gotten in a little bit of detail with it.
Yeah.
With Damon, because he's just like, she was fine, I was struggling too, like, it's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, he doesn't really know what
No, I forgot.
what it actually looked like for her.
I forgot about that. That was crazy. She was tripping.
Yeah.
What was she doing exactly? She had some
She got
powder from some guy.
From herbs from the witch, the twin witch.
From Luke.
Yeah, Luke.
Caroline and Stefan are walking through the forest. They are doing exposition. Everyone has to tell everyone everything.
But not that part that I think they should have told.
Right.
Yeah.
So they handed Enzo over, and now they're rescuing him. But Stefan is going to rescue Enzo for Damon. And Caroline is like, well, how are you going to make it up to me? Dropping hints like breadcrumbs.
Yeah, she's so mad at Stefan still.
They see the vamp shed. There are bros coming out of the vamp shed. Caroline and Stefan go in. Enzo's not in there, but there's some blood on the floor. Elena is following around Joe. Asks about the bracelet. Is that the vervain? Asks about the contacts. Are those the vervain? Vervain underwear. Have we seen that yet?
No.
Well,
We've seen Vervain ropes, though.
Vervain ropes. Vervain basement. Vervain dungeon, I mean.
Yeah.
Verve pipe.
We were only freshmen.
Yeah. Joe asks about a patient, the victim at the corn maze. Okay, so she does a little looky-loo or like a little flip 'em up on Elena. She's like, okay, we got a victim here. She had this artery, something, blah, blah, blah. And then she opens the door. Psh, no one's in there. Where is she? She was healed miraculously by you.
Yeah, how'd you do that?
Yeah. That was good. The patient was never admitted. All right. Elena's like, Liam was cutely bragging about how hurt she was.
Yeah, she wasn't actually hurt at all.
Yeah. And then Joe's like, I know who Alaric is and who you are, and don't steal any blood bags, or I'm coming after you.
Yeah, that's like Elena being like, whoa, is she a threat? Like, do I gotta kill her?
Right. I feel like she would be hard to kill. Damon is in Elena's dorm room. There's no pics of him anywhere. Jeremy comes in with a bad haircut.
I know, because he's not been taking care of himself.
No. You're stalking my sister. He asks why Bonnie didn't come back, and
Damon lies.
Mm-hmm.
He's lying to protect them, but that never works. That never always, is what I was going to say. That doesn't always work out.
No, and then they're just more mad when they find out the truth.
Right.
And Jeremy's a hunter, so he's already mad.
Yep.
Jeremy talks about paying Bonnie's cell phone bill again.
I paid her cell phone bill so I could hear her say the same 6 words.
And Damon says he'll call it. And Jeremy says she hated Damon.
Right, he's like, why would you want to do that? She hated you.
And then
Because
Damon,
he doesn't know that they, like, bonded.
Yeah. In 1994, Mystic Falls. And Damon lies that she found peace.
Right.
But we don't know what she's doing. She might just be with Kai in an eternal battle.
Yeah, we haven't seen them.
Okay. Elena asks how Joe figured everything out. She figured it out with Alaric when he was trying to compel her. And she figured it out with Elena healing that girl. And I bet you weren't checking my coffee for stevia. says in that voice. And Elena's like, why are you doing that voice? And she was like, meh.
I'm trying to be, what's that guy's name? Who does that sound like?
Bill Maher, maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It sounds like somebody, though.
So Elena is wondering if Joe's a witch. And she says, let's not ask these types of questions. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
A good response.
I think, okay, so Joe is bummed Alaric tried to compel her.
Because Joe is into him, and
Right.
he wanted her to forget him, and she's like, oh, it was that bad?
Yeah, but also she's like, I'm just trying to find a good fella.
Yeah.
And then this guy seems cool. And he's out here compelling.
Right. And compelling me to forget him.
Right.
Nonetheless.
Well, for her benefit in his eyes.
Right.
All right, let's see. Sarah is looking at the files with Matt. She was in a foster home. There's a locked...
Yeah, he was like, where are you from?
Yeah.
And she was like, all over, basically.
There's a locked drawer that they can't get into in Tripp's desk. Caroline calls. Tripp has Ivy's phone, and Caroline is on the recently called list.
This is when they did open the drawer. You forgot to mention that part.
Oh, they did get in it?
They couldn't open it, and then they opened it, and that's what they found inside.
Oh.
Like wallets and phones.
Tripp knows what Caroline is.
Yeah.
Damon is...
And Caroline's like, he knows I'm a vampire. Like, her reaction was so weird.
Damon is still in the dorm room. He calls Bonnie's phone, and he's seeking her voice. He's in your room. He's in her room. Wanted to say thank you. He's sorry. He says a whole bunch of stuff, you know. And then he gets a phone call. It's Elena. We should meet face to face. Come by the dorm, my dorm. And Damon's funny. He's like, I'll be here, there
Yeah.
soon.
Because he was being a creepo, hanging out in her dorm room all day. But to be fair, he doesn't have a home because he can't go into Mystic Falls.
And then the door opens, and it's Tripp, I guess, going to get Caroline. But then he finds Damon there. Dana?
Yeah.
He finds Dana there. Damon gets H for B. And then they fight.
It's good when Damon catches the vial,
Yeah.
like midair. Oops. And that was cool.
And then does he throw it back into Tripp?
He throws it back into Tripp, yeah, and then he's like on top of Tripp, and then those two other guys that helped Tripp shot Damon in the back with a couple of the vials.
Yeah, those shed bros.
Yeah.
All right, what else does he
Then
do?
they take Damon out of there.
Elena's walking back to the dorm. The door's open. Phone on the floor. Blood. Elena calls Alaric. Get to the old Miller Road. We'll get him back. And then Joe is there, and she's like, is there an occult studies emergency? She's trying to talk to Alaric, and he's trying to get out of there.
Yeah.
And then she's like, why don't you compel me out of the way? And then she's like, just trying to get the truth. And then Alaric just tells her the whole weirdo truth.
The actual truth, yeah.
My best friend just came back from the dead, but have to save him from a vampire hunter. And she's just kind of annoyed. It seems like she gets wrapped up in this type of stuff, maybe. Because it seems like she's supernatural, too. I mean, did we say she's a witch or something?
She didn't confirm or nor deny, but that's what Elena was like. The only other way that you can resist compulsion is if you're a witch. Are you a witch? And she was like, we shall not discuss these things. But yeah, he just says the whole thing about like the magical border and how he's gonna die and stuff again.
He mentions Vervain underwear. He says he has some drawings of like some contacts. Damon is in the back of the I keep calling it a truck, but it's a van, right?
It's a van.
The Tripp van. I've heard of a road trip,
But not a trip van.
but not a trip van. I've heard of tryptophan making you tired on Thanksgiving, but I haven't heard of trip in a van making you die in Mystic Falls.
Well, now you have.
No, I have. Right. Stefan. What, Stefan and Enzo are back there?
Yeah.
No, Damon and Enzo?
Damon and Enzo. And Enzo was already back there, and then he caught Damon and put him in there. And now they're together, and Enzo's like, well, this brings back memories, or
Yeah.
this is familiar.
It's going to be a short reunion because they're headed to Mystic Falls. Stefan was responsible for getting Enzo locked up, and they're going to die at the border. But then Caroline and Elena are at the border, and Caroline, like, punches the tire and explodes it.
Yeah, so do you realize that, like, at different entries to Mystic Falls, that's where they are with their broken down cars?
Yeah.
Because they're not sure which way Trip is going to go. And
Right, but there's more than
then,
2 or so.
yeah, then
they say.
Caroline's mom was blocking
at the
another
third one.
but you just didn't see it. But Caroline said that.
Yeah, none of them looked that familiar because I didn't see the patented sign that they keep moving around. I did see a different sign, though, I think. All right, Elena wants her memories back. So now she's like, oh, good, Alaric can just compel me. And then if Damon survives this, I want to be uncompelled. I can't imagine loving him, but I can't avoid the truth.
Right. I think what Damon said about how compulsion just covers the truth is exactly what Elena needed to hear to be like, oh, well,
Yeah.
I do want the truth. So,
Right.
yeah.
Can't just ignore it. So Stefan and Alaric are at another part of the border. But you know what this is reminding me of, Ash?
What?
Another small town with potentially supernatural things going on, with maybe just one road out.
Smallville?
Wayward Pines.
Oh, Wayward Pines.
I'm reading Wayward Pines right now, which you asked me not to give you spoilers on, so I am not. But maybe we should do Wayward Pete's.
Oh, we could.
Because we could watch the show.
Yeah.
But we'd both be noobs.
On the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One Pete who has read the book, and one noob.
And neither one who has watched the show.
But 2 M. Night fans.
No, Blake Crouch.
Well, he wrote the book, but M. Night made the show.
That's true. But Blake Crouch is the OG. Of Wayward Pines.
Yeah. For sure, but M. Night also did it.
That's a good combo, though.
I know, you would think it would be good. Not so sure.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm enjoying the book, though.
It's good.
Wayward Pete's.
Wayward Pete's.
First book is just called Pine, so it'd just be Pete's. Reading the book Pete's right now. All right, anyways.
I feel like that's the book I read every day.
Yeah? Well, stop dog-earing me. Ow.
I know when I hurt you.
No, the book you read every day is how to... No, it's Being Stupid for Dummies.
What?
Just kidding.
Because I don't know how to be stupid.
Have
I
you
have to
ever-
read a manual.
Have you ever read a For Dummies? Yeah, that's good. Have you ever read a For Dummies book?
I think my parents had like a Windows 95 for dummies.
That's funny.
When they bought the computer for the first time. So it was around the house, and I probably like perused it and was like, I don't even need this.
That's funny. It's funny that there was a whole series of books for dummies.
There was.
All right, let's...
Did you?
No.
Did you ever interact with one like I did?
No, I'm not a big nonfiction guy. All right, so they're breaking their cars down. Stefan is like stripping his engine parts.
Yeah, he does go way too much with it.
Yeah. All right, so Alaric says this all isn't Stefan's fault, but Stefan says it is. And he used to hunt vampires, and now he is one. The
Alaric.
irony.
Yeah. Alaric is mad.
Yeah, this reminded me. So he was searching for Damon because Damon killed his wife. It turned out his wife was a vampire too, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So searching for Damon was the only thing that could take his mind off that. Okay, a car is coming. It's Trip to van.
In the van. Yeah.
Trip in the van. They flag him down, and then instead of having like a good plan or just vampire beasting out, they're like, hey, need to get to a bachelor party, dude.
I know. They could have done better. They have vampire, like, strength and speed and...
What even is best case scenario? Trip's like, yeah, hop in the passenger seat with me.
And then we're driving to Mystic Falls.
And then they drive across the border and die?
I know. They should have just seen the van coming, whooshed over, pushed it over.
Yeah.
One person killed Trip, and
Yeah.
one person rescued the guys.
Right.
That's the plan I would have written.
Alaric,
But they don't always have good plans on this show.
Alaric punches out the window, but Trip shoots him with the vervain or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. They crash into that car they were driving and the sign.
Yeah, Trip, like, presses his foot on the gas.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I just got to get in there. Mm-hmm. And they flip into Mystic Falls. And
Alaric goes flying.
they try to do a trick 'em up, we said, instead of whooshing around.
Right, yeah. They wasted their time on a trick 'em up.
Yep. Damon and Enzo are hurt in the back. Elena's on the phone like, what's happening? Damon and Alaric are across the border like Philly's Most Wanted. Mm-hmm. Alaric is coughing up blood. I said, Pete-diction, Joe is going to stop it with some magic. Because I was like, she's got some kind of magic. She doesn't. She uses another kind of magic.
Medicine.
Modern medicine.
Yeah.
Stefan doesn't want to cross the border like Philly's Most Wanted, but he does. And then he starts to bleed from his stomach because he got shot way back in the day.
Honestly,
By his dad?
Yeah,
Or did
was
he
it-
shoot his dad?
he killed his dad, but was it a... Yeah, I think it was a gun.
Enzo died of consumption. He's not looking forward to doing that again.
Yeah, that does explain why his is slow. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the other ones.
Stefan busts open the van door. Then Joe is somehow there real quick. She followed Alaric like a crazy stalker, she says. Joe is going to stop the bleeding instead of taking him across the border. The other guys get back across, but Joe is going to save his life so he's not a vampire, I said.
Oh, you Pete-dicted that? I thought you were just going to be like, and then he'll be a vampire. Like, he'll be saved, but he'll be a vampire.
No. I was like,
good for you.
I was like, oh, man. She's using this witch magic. Just kidding. Well, she couldn't be across the border if she was a witch, so. But wait, it's witch magic, so maybe she could. All right.
I shall never reveal any information to you.
She said she's the smartest woman on campus and saved a bunch of people on their corn maze date, but he still didn't want to hang out with her.
I know. That's why she was the most sad about the compulsion, because she was like, oh, he doesn't want to be with me.
She probably has been dating around, can't find a good guy.
Find a good guy. He's a vampire.
Yeah. Tale as old as time. I mean,
Happened to me once.
dating these days, yeah, it did. Dating these days, I mean, with some of these guys out there, I prefer a vampire.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's like, I don't know.
At least they only want to suck your blood. I mean, at least blood is the only thing they want to suck.
I don't know that that's good.
I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to make it work.
We appreciate the effort.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like
My glasses are dirty.
a dating app, but for vampires.
I think you need to think about that on your own time.
Okay, I'll learn to code and then I'll do that. All right. Where are we at?
Joe is saving Alaric. You think he's gonna be?
He looks
human.
like he dies, but then he gasps for breath, and he's like, "I'm not supposed to be alive." And
He's
then
like, something's different.
Joe's gonna get him to the hospital. Caroline's on the
The
phone.
shitty one.
Yeah. Caroline's on the phone, tells Elena they had to get out of there. Alaric crossed the border. Joe saved him. But Ash, gift of the
Vandry?
Vamjai. Now Elena wants to be uncompelled, but Alaric doesn't have magic and can't uncompel.
I know. So now she's stuck with her memories gone.
He's human, no, but also yeah.
That's a yay boo.
And you made the point, the compulsion didn't go away. Like maybe if he turned into a vampire, all the people that the vampire had compelled in their vampire lifespan, the compulsion would go away. But that's not the case, apparently. We didn't see an example of that at some point. A vampire got killed or something.
There have been people that, they've lost their compulsion when the person has changed.
Maybe because they died and Alaric didn't die. He just got
undead.
Yeah.
He was undead and now he's alive. I don't know. It does get a little wishy-washy, but that's okay.
Yeah. Whatever. I trust him. Matt brings Sarah back to the Bros mansion. He knows about her family. And he's like, Damon and Stefan, who live here, they're Salvatores, like you. They're vampires. Death and pain always follow them. Go far away. Jeremy comes in. He's mad. He can't cancel her phone without her PIN.
Why can't I remember her PIN?
You know, I feel his pain because sometimes I try and do stuff with, like, our phone carrier. And I'm like, they just tell me all this stuff. I'm like, I really can't track what you're talking about.
That kind of stuff is the most annoying. Like, you type in your password, and this happens to me once a month. You type in your password, they say it's wrong. You go to change your password, and then they're like, you can't use the password you just had. I'm like, that's the one I was typing in.
I know. That is uniquely your issue.
I don't know.
That happens to you all the time. That's like the people who can't do the motion sensor sync. Like they're like it just doesn't read my vibes. There are people who just can't use those.
You have that experience in the men's too?
It usually works for me.
No, but like you see that happen to other people?
Yeah, and I've heard people talk about it. They're like I can't use the dryer. Like sometimes doors don't open for me.
That's funny. Well, yeah, that's my experience. If that happens to you too, let me know because it's really annoying.
Yeah.
But I feel Jeremy's pain of being like, why can't I get this pin?
But he's so mad. He breaks the phone, breaks a bottle. He's punching everything. And she's gone, and he's not going to be okay. He's really mad. So Elena's calling Alaric and telling him that Joe's a keeper. So Alaric's in the hospital.
Right. He's in the hospital.
And he's trying to heal for real, not through any sort of supernatural way. And he's on morphine.
And it's uncomfortable because no one can... He's in Mystic Falls also, so no one can go and vamp him up again.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Meredith's not there anymore.
You can't heal him vamp style.
He's sorry that he can't uncompel her. He hated being a vampire, so she's like glad he got what he wanted.
Right. At least one of them did.
She wants to look Damon in the eye and know all that she knows and see how she feels about him.
Right.
Wants to trust how she feels.
She wants the truth.
And then Joe comes in and besmirches the Mystic Falls Hospital.
Yeah.
We need to get you to Whitmore, where I have all my good stuff. Where I have all my coffee and stevia.
Like, it's probably seriously the same set, right? They wouldn't have two hospital sets, so they just make it look worse by having, like, worse lighting and ugly sheets.
Yeah.
And then just say it's bad.
I think I stumbled across that Connor Jordan, the actor, was on Dexter.
Oh, really?
Was he one of his buddies on Dexter? Like one of the,
I don't remember.
because he was he worked with the cops as like a crime scene investigator or something. I think one of the cops, probably one of the cops, was trying to get him. Because wasn't that always the fear that these cops were going to get him?
Yeah.
I think Connor Jordan was one of those cops.
Because his sister was a cop, too.
Yeah. Okay, another thing about Dexter. I don't know why Dexter came up in my feed, but all right, Dexter and his sister were brother and sister on the show.
Yeah.
They got married in real life.
And then divorced.
While they were brother and sister on the show.
Yeah.
Trippy.
Yeah.
At least you get to work with your wife, but then you're like, all right,
sis.
clock in. Weird.
I know, that was weird.
But, good show. Part of it, some of it was good.
I liked that show a lot.
We should do a Pete-stir.
We keep throwing them out there.
Two sort of fans try to remember the show from 20 years ago.
Yeah. A great tagline. Maybe people should recommend what shows we should do.
I mean, we're doing this one.
I know, for a while.
Speaking of which, we'll be back in the new year.
Right.
We're going to take some time off for the holidays.
For sure. All right, let's wrap it up, though. Where are we at?
Damon and Stefan are at the grill. They were close to dying. Damon was. He's tired of hearing
Stefan.
how hard it was for Elena. He still feels like he's gone.
Right.
But Elena's happy without him. And Damon's like, I want her to be miserable like me. Mm-hmm. And Stefan's like, go see her. And he's like, what if it doesn't work? And then he's like, here goes everything.
Yeah, that was kind of cute, though.
And Stefan is mad, too. He obviously has feelings for Elena.
Right.
We've established that.
Yeah, very early on.
And then he sees Caroline. And is he going to shoot his shot? All right, last stop on the apology tour, she says. Mm-hmm. And let's be friends again. And she doesn't want to be friends. I said lovers, perhaps. Because she's been trying to holler for a while.
Yeah, but she's been mad.
Sometimes you're too mad to holler.
Yeah.
Elena is looking at her journals and some pics.
Mm-hmm.
Damon is walking to her dorm. He knocks. They see each other. There's a big music part.
Mm-hmm. And more doorknob shots.
Yeah, a couple knob shots. Hinge is a thing. Door Hinge, and also that's a dating thing. Mm-hmm. Hey, they were on Hinge.
They were on Hinge.
They met on Hinge, they could say.
They could say, yeah.
Yay, something
that made sense.
Made sense and wasn't a bad tangent that took forever. And sorry, Nelly, again. Ash, how many fangs?
That was the very end.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't say the part about how Caroline was like, she didn't even want to be Stefan's friend.
Yeah, I said lovers, perhaps.
Oh, that was that. Okay. I was like, wait. Okay, yeah, and then they are about to have their moment. Mm-hmm. Damon and Elena. Fangs?
Yep.
Well, I don't know. You go first.
I am once again giving 2 fangs because this time Joe was smart. We had Liv being smart.
True.
And now we have Joe being smart.
Yeah, do you like Joe?
Yes.
I like Joe too.
I want her to get with Alaric.
Mm-hmm.
Alaric needs a win. And he's a human now, so who knows how that helps.
Well, he definitely can't compel her now.
No.
I did like a 1.8, 1.9.
Mm-hmm.
The plug snores are very loud. All right, Pete, what you got? Plugs, you got games, what you got?
No game tonight. It's already a long boy. Mm-hmm. We'll see y'all in the new year. Okay, my plugs are...
Sorry, I didn't do Pete-dictions. We got to do that first.
Pete-dicted some stuff. All right, but what's going to happen next? All right, Jeremy's mad. I do think that somehow... I don't know. Is Bonnie going to come all the way back? I'm not sure. But I think she'll be able to somehow get a message to Jeremy in some type of way. Mm. Maybe she might kiss him through the phone. No, I'm just kidding. But I think somehow she'll be able to contact him in some type of witchy way, perhaps. Because they're not just going to be like, I paid for your phone. And then like he's so mad and then he never sees her again. Uh-huh. Like, that'd be sad.
And then he just is sad forever.
Yeah, and then his character's just sad. Mm-hmm. All right, Sarah Salvatore, how's she going to come into play? I don't know, she's going to be like, you guys are my great, great, great uncles or whatever. There'll be that moment. How did my dad really die? Or we already know that.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Okay.
But the main question, though, is Damon and Elena. Is she going to remember? Are they going to fall in love? Are they going to be... Is she going to be grossed out?
I would guess that somehow either really looking at him will somehow uncompel her, or she'll feel something. She's like, I don't exactly remember the moments with you, but I do know I feel something, like that kind of thing. So like there will be like the attraction, and they'll start dating off of that type thing.
Like fall in love again?
Yeah. Something like that.
Okay. That was enough. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Plurgs.
I had a new book that I published come out on the 12th or something, very recently.
Yeah, just last week.
I didn't write it. I wrote the foreword for it, and I published it, but it's called All Roads Lead to Dockweiler, Devotions from the Ocean in the City of Angels. So, again, a long title.
Yeah.
But basically what it is, it's a nonfiction memoir that a talented writer, musician named Rick Bickerstaff, yes, that's his real name. It's actually Richard Bickerstaff III to add a little mustard on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, great writer. I've worked with him in the past, but he wrote a memoir of sort of his learning to surf, but also sort of a devotional thing about like how surfing and faith connect. Mm-hmm. It's really good.
And it has an album that goes with it.
Yeah, when you buy the book, there's a QR code in there, and you can pop it open and listen to his tunes. He has music on all the regular places, Spotify, etc. He has some Christmas music up there. Mm-hmm. So check out Rick Bickerstaff. Check out Yonder Breaks, which is his band. And check out that book.
And High Dive Publishing.
At High Dive Publishing on Instagram. And the last 2 episodes of The Ultimatum on Netflix just came out today. Well, this is coming out tomorrow, but
Yesterday.
they're out. All right, they're out. So you can watch them, which is what we're about to go do.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Happy New Year.